Good time of day, everyone. So today is going to be mostly an art stream, though I'll probably attempt to do a little something in the engine to implement the sprites. Without further ado, whoops, I have not updated this. Oh no, 1 second. Helps if I spell right. So, as the thumbnail says, Beatrice and Be Cools. So going on the Ghosts and Goblins idea. Currently what I have up is Arthur, since it is the most important sprite in the game. There is at least in the older days with more practical effects, there was the concept of hero models and other models. Hero models were used for close-up shots and whatever. And all the other models they could have on the scene, but as long as they don't focus on them, it's fine if they're a little wonky. Games tend to do this as well because you should polish the thing that's always on screen. For just a quick go over, as with all NES games and a lot of sprites, all they do for left and right is flip them. That's an in-engine thing. Otherwise, all your animations are this. I think this down here is actually a special winning animation. Helmet removed and all that. I'd have to take a look. Probably quasi-cutscene. But as is Ghosts and Goblins and that whole thing, you have the two sprites, which are basically the same. Now, I know on the back end, these are actually about 3 different sprites. Let me grab one of these. Go with the standing Arthur. It's going to be a good one to extrapolate off of. If I could actually grab it. So, as expected, it falls into 16 by 24. It probably, as I said, this is 3 sprites. This is definitely at least 2 down here because this area is 16 by... Okay, no, they could possibly do this section. This would have to be its own sprite just to have the different color because you have the red sash, belt, whatever you want to call it, the silver armor, and the black outline. And then up here, this is where it definitely has to do a little bit of sprite weirdness, because you have the armor, you have the skin color, and then you have the beard. So that's 3 colors. You don't get to have any more than that, because you have to have transparencies. So they probably do a little bit of the Mega Man and just put this face right on top of there, which eats into the sprite budget, but it is what it is. I also know, because I watched somebody go over why the game is so unoptimized, and I think I brought it up before, but the sprite flicker that happens, that has to be manually put in there. Because otherwise, you can only have 8 sprites on any horizontal line, I believe it was. And to prevent this, games have to make their own way, which is usually they have a sprite that they skip every frame, and that's where you get the flicker in. The main character usually doesn't flicker, but all the enemies and all the item sprites do. Solve this in Ghosts and Goblins. They just flip the way they render sprites every other frame, and this causes like the 3 sections of this to do weird, wacky things. But anyways, that said, let's just dissect this sprite a little bit. I'm going to put this on 128 by 128 just so I have some room. And drop down. Sure, pink. Now, I'm not sure how much of this I'll keep. Oh, what's a good color? Let's go with blue. Nothing on here is blue. So the head size gives us about 10 pixels to work with. Could I do an anime Beatrix face in that? Not quite sure. Most ways I would say standardly to do kind of a sprite face is you get a box and then you put in 2 eyes. What's Beatrice's eyes color? I think it's a purple, but what kind of purple? It's a very light, almost pink purple. I don't have the vocabulary to say that. Let's just use this for now. But as I was saying, like little sprite ones, it is common to do just like 2 eye pixels, or 2 pixel eyes. And that gets everything across, mostly because 1 pixel just doesn't carry a lot. You kind of have this here with the helmet bleeding in. I'm not sure. I don't think the regular sprite. No, they have the black here. So it keeps like the eyebrow going in here. It gives it a look. And the only reason you know it's a face, because like zoomed in, it's like, what is this? Is that it's a part of the rest of the body. And this would be black outlined. I'd have to check actually screenshots, but I'm pretty sure they introduce a black outline to this on their sprites. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure this would blend into a few spots. So I don't think they use a primarily black background to get away with using this much. Anyways. So, we got that. Probably would avoid giving a mouth or anything. Now, I might overachieve and go in with some... and not go with the Ness level because, well, we don't have to. And I would like this to properly look like her, so I would need all the colors. The twin tails are going to be actually probably have to be just their own sprites. So let's keep that in mind. Get it this far. So we have a head about that size. It takes up all of his helmet, which is fine. We can bring it down here. We can put it on its own layer. The twin drills, which are going to be absolutely painful to put in, but I'll just put them right here to think on it. And I may extend head down a little bit. But anyways, we have that. Now the dress. She actually has shoulders open on the dress, I believe. Yep. Shoulder top, it's strapped, and then these are detached sleeves. That's not going to come through. You have to simplify the heck out of this. So just going off that, something like that, and we won't care about that one for right now. And we can just go boop. Refine later. Get something down to start with. Now I might actually make this smaller. I thought he was going to be 32 high because the Ness can render in 16 by 16 mode for sprites, or as for other games, they can render by like 32:16, and that's all one sprite. It's a very specific thing. I'm trying to think of which games use it. I think Super Mario Bros. 3 used that one, and a lot of fighting games, like Double Dragon. How would I put in that poofy thing? Okay. So I have all this. Let's just merge it down. I will fix stuff later. Oop, wrong layer. Okay. This isn't going to be the file one by anything, but I'm noodling until I have an idea. And 24 by 16 was where I was thinking I was going to end up, but I'll probably have to adjust head size, otherwise she's going to look very tall for what she is. And I don't quite want that. But let's just work on this train of thought. That's what I want. And I probably want to put this into 8 by 8 pixels so I can actually work with it. There we go. As I said, the twin tails are going, or the twin drills are going to murder me on this. And she just has stockings on her legs. I might have to keep them flesh colored just so it's sane on the color count. What does he do? He has the one leg forward. I know I should probably honestly be looking at this one, because this is going to... Why did they want to imply hairy legs? I mean, it's the only other color they have, but it's real distracting. Very interesting, though. Anyways. And this other one's somewhat crooked, which we can actually do to make it look a bit cutesy. The standard female pose in half the sprite artwork I see. So what would I do for the tailing dress? It goes down to about her ankles, so like I could do something like this. As I said, I think this is a little too... a little too tall. We almost might... almost thinking might want to make this 50? This is about quarter, ignoring the top of the helmet, we might be having this be about 4. So going to absolutely making this like a third of her body might work out. I'm going to move this aside a second. Move you a second. And shrink this down. Boop. Boop. Now that's starting to become a little cuter. Probably drop a single line in here, and this works out better. Boop boop. Yeah, this is going to be a problem here. Now, as I said, I could cheat however I want because this is modern hardware, but I generally don't want to go like wild with the color count. What was it? Shovel Knight, very specifically shot for an era, and I think even though like it's going for SNES, which allows you to have a lot more colors on screen, they went back more than a few steps. They reduced the color count a lot for Shovel Knight, and I think it worked out. I think another thing on here is that the legs have to be a lot skinnier. Yeah, and I mean, you would have to do it that way. That just looks off. Then again, we're only using 2 colors so far. But I'm trying to think of if I could just use the black or the purple for this. And if I really want to do this, let's go with the Ness palette type. Because that's not the one. It's right here. And I like to go from value. Oh wait, it's this one. Or hue. We got that red. What sort of purple can we work with? That doesn't work. We need darker at very least. That might work. I'm not sure if I'll actually use properly accurate palette, but it's something. I don't like that. I mean, like, if I round it off, it works, but that's kind of a limp sort of pose. There's nothing to it. Now, since I possibly want to make this girly, you could do the tee-hee arm out thing. You know, the typical girl run. Why can I not remember key? There we go. And like do this. And if I mirror it on this side, it probably sells it better. I mean, let's cut off a pixel here. Grab it, grab it. And I think that looks a little better. Now there's the issue of what to do with all this for running animations, and also, you know, the rest of her hair, which I'll just make a sprite. I could cheat a little bit. I think my limit would be about 5 colors kind of per sprite, and then I'm kind of pushing it, but this is more nostalgia bait NES than actual NES hardware, but I like to think within NES terms. So, how would I do... Oops, that's not the right one. So as I said, I'd probably have, like, the hair behind her be like this, have it be, you know, darker shade, but just go like... Waha. I think it goes down to... Oh, it's only her lower back. It might be best to have it be longer so it shows up better. But let's just go with that for now. Let's try and figure out how the heck to do these twin drills. Probably best as a layer behind her. So we have it pop up like this. And then that kind of works. So what I'm saying works is that it just like, it goes in, it goes out, and then it goes in again. And then you could go like, oh, that's twin drill. But I can emphasize it more by introducing another color, you know, cheating the budget. Let's drop this down a shade. Except for up there. That could probably still just be white. Oh, no, it can't. Let's cut that out for now. So, if I do this... Now she has... So it goes inside, outside, inside, outside. So this goes up to here. This is inside, outside. Inside. That. And then over here. Do the same, but opposite. And if I was being economic, I'd probably yeah, let's be economic. By that, I mean the twin tails will be their own sprite, and we'll just spawn it in twice. Oops. Let's just fix that. Now, I don't think that looks too great. So bring that in. Okay, do it like that. So while we have this extracted, maybe we can work on its form a little bit. So as I said, it goes in on... There we go. And then this comes down. That's the main form. This side you can't see. Then it comes down in a strip. Maybe I'm just doing something, yeah. Let's work from the light to the dark. So this comes down as a strip like this. It twists around, and then it comes down in a strip like this. Now we can, because it's thinning out down here, do something like this. Possibly a little bigger than it needs to be, but it's a chibi-ish sprite. That's kind of how they work. Okay. Let's see how it looks being put on her head. Very much can tell it's drill tails. So, good. Can we do better? Probably. Will I do better? Who knows? Gotta ensure that it looks like this part is going this way and this part's going this way. That's very key to the directionality of this. Yeah, much better. I cut that out? Yes, I can. Now, can I move this so that it isn't sharing that without it looking awful? I think that works. Move this up. That's a little much. I do that, and then cut this one out. I think so. Maybe one there, yeah. This is the weird one on top, because I will say it again, I rarely see it where it goes from the back to the front. Usually it's like... Usually when I think the drill things, it's... You have the hair come out, the hair just like bunch out, like it's a normal twin tail, then they have like effectively little segments where they link up. But it's the front coming out. It's never like coming from the back, which is kind of unique, but it breaks my brain a little bit. Anyways, back here. I think this gives it. I won't be able to get the ribbon in, and I think that I could just, whoops, have the have the rose be on there, be its own layer. Cheat to win. Okay, and put it on the, nope, it needs to be about there. So that works. And we noodle in a rose on top, which could just be, you know, like that. I'm getting there. I don't think we get a mouth on this. I mean, I can try. Oops. It's on the same layer? Okay. I mean, we could get a mouth, but that's more normal, Chan. I think we go without mouth and just have it be like this. Technically, she also has, you know, the locks that come down. So, I could probably do this. Which is going to be painful when I have to figure out how to flip it, but it works. We turn this off. Yeah, we could say that's forgive me for I have sinned. I need to see. Okay. Oops. So what to do about the legs? well, we kind of have it in the standard girl pose that seems to be for all sprites. When I say standard girl pose, male sprites tend to take on the standard power pose, which you know is like legs. Power pose being, ooh. Then do whatever you want with the arms. They can be out. They can do this. They can do whatever. Sort of standard girl pose in sprites is something that isn't so all that like this, like I'm literally doing that over here, is what tends to happen. Then you can have like pigeon toed. You know, the legs both come in. I mean, this would be for your shyer type girl. BB is not quite that. But I don't know what else to do with this. I mean, like, this is fine. This one seems a bit weird. I mean, like, I could have it be a bit more forward. That looks more dramatic. I also need to put shoes on here. Which has a problem over here. Because her dress is, you know, it's long in the back. And this might also be better shown with 1 pixel, but not there. So something like that. Now for the hair in the back. Because I could almost get away without having it. So I'm going to take that color. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. I'm going to take that. It goes to about to her mid-back. Like right here. So you don't see it on the front, but you see it coming down like this. And I could have a whole thing where, like, when she's moving, it will be pushed, it'll be on the back frame, so like something like out here maybe. And like twin tails bounce or whatever, you could see it more. But yeah, this is a lot of sprites for Nest thing. This is coming out to be, let's see. Let's put on the grids. These have to be at least technically 2 sprites each. The rose is going to be 1 sprite. The hair has to be... The hair could be 1 sprite because it's 16 by 16. Without outline. That is a question. Do I want to do outline or not? Without outline, the bottom half could be 1 sprite, the top half could be 1 sprite. Because, I mean, I just cut off here. And I have this overlap it, and this could be its own color. And there has to be 2 of them in memory so I could flip it without it being weird. Oops. I need to save this. 1 second. Let me set up where I'm going to save it, and I will call it good. Now, where did I put this? That is my current model. I do not want to be in that. Programming. This would probably be considered work in progress sheet, because it's not actually a sheet, it's just me noodling. Okay, anyways, we have that. Kind of works. You know, if I'm going to go this far in cheating, how does it look if I give her the stockings? Also, I could be really silly. You know, G and G. Yeah, that kind of I kind of like that. I mean, I would think it'd be like right here. Yeah, that's kind of nice. I think I'll keep that. Completely destroys how this is supposed to be, but I think I'll keep that. Now, another question is, can I do back of... Nope, that's not dark enough. Can I use a brown? It blends in too much. I don't think this... Yeah, I said this wasn't dark enough. Can I go to a pink? No, I think that's too much. Dark purple again? No, I don't think I want to do that. I think you'll just kind of have to live at that. Probably want to put like that. Yeah. So that is currently the work in progress for BB. Now looking back at this, there is a... I want to actually almost pop in... I actually have one of the mini consoles. I'd have to get my other TV somewhere. Pop that in to see how the run is on here. I think it's a... It looks almost 2-frame from what this is, but I don't think that's what it's supposed to be. These are duplicated. This is the jump. I'm not quite sure how this would transition from this. Maybe that's just like... Oh, so this is... I don't know if he had double jumping the original one. I think he literally just went straight into that, but... Yeah, this is attack animation. So all he did was he just raised it and then he put his arm down. That's the same one as over here. Now, once again, I can cheat to win. But, oh yeah. First, I should answer the question. Outline. How does this look with outline? How destroyed does this get with me making sure that we know everything is... Okay. First off, the standard... outline to rest a drawing. Twin tails are going to be the really hard ones on this one because they do their own thing. But let's just look at it like this. Also, very technically, you could do this in Engine, not in NES, but you could do it in modern stuff and just find the outer limits of the pixels and just go like, hey, you have something to the left or right of you. I could also do that in a sprite, you know, Control O or Shift O, bring up this magical menu which allows me to do an outline, but these are on multiple layers, so it would look bad. So this is outline type 1, outline all the things. Or outline just... Let's connect with it. So that pops it off the background. All this gets lost. So it really would need to be the kind that goes in on... these parts and puts an outline on the arms and such. Maybe on the dress. I also missed that one. I would say on the bottom of the dress, which changes some of the stuff here. So this can go away now. And that becomes a little weird. I don't like the neck thing. Maybe down here? I think that kind of works. Also to show, you know, there. The dress kind of gets ruined from it, though. I don't like where that's going. We move it up here like that. Maybe. Oh, it still needs that because of the shoe. If we cut off the ankle... Maybe move that back more. It pops more, which is what you want. I just don't quite like it. Part of the reason you would want it to pop is if you're the same saturation as the background. Like, as I was complaining about before, let's say you have evil lava zone and like all your rocks are like this, and then you know you have, ooh, there's lava on top of it. Now you have red character. Oh, you can't see anything. Or like even you have like pink character. Oh, you still can't see them. This can be solved by one, just not having a background that's in the same saturation space. However, besides the red, BB is very monochrome. And she's monochrome across multiple planes of it. And I think I can get around this, and might just, I'll go with this. This is a style I like. I might be able to get around it by just having that green background doesn't work. Like, because we're going to have the graveyard. That's a little too bright, especially considering I'm planning on kind of keeping everything that isn't that black. Kind of works, but then again, it fights her twin tails. So it's very much a problem. Black works, but it's not always going to be black. I mean, keeping like most things on the ground, once again, that has a problem. That kind of works, but it's very bright. Yeah, I have a lot of issues if I keep it as that, so I have to pick my poison. Dude. And I had the stupidest thought. As I said, I can fake masking. What I can also do is effectively take everything and make a duplicate of a shadow, increase it by 1 pixel, and I just render that behind everything. So effectively, I would always have an outline. It would just be, let me save for a second. Turn this off. Merge visible, or flatten visible. Turn this back on. So, select everything outside of there. Select U2, select U2, select U2. Control Shift invert. Yep. Yep, you're inverted. Okay. So I can only do this because I have the memory for it. Okay, so we have that. I'm going to copy it because I want to get out of flattened everything land. There we go. So every single sprite would have its own corresponding sprite, which would... it didn't copy, did it? Or did it not actually... Please, a sprite, don't fight. Nope, it didn't actually copy. Okay, whatever. Shadow test. I can just do it by hand and not spend 2 hours complaining about it. Okay. So every single sprite would have its own shadow, which would just be 1 pixel larger. And then we do this. And then I could keep the nice inner sprite work that I want. Though I did say I kind of liked how the arms work. And I would just blit all the shadow pieces at their proper locations, and then blit all the normal colored ones on top of it, which is very not NES-like. You don't have the sprite budget for it. You do not have the materials for it, but it would work. It would also probably kill the sprite, or the NES, because that's a lot of sprites. However, I don't need to care. All NES-type games are generally trying to do a bit of nostalgia bait, because they never quite look like how they would be, and given how CRTs work, they never look like the current ones are too crispy anyways. So we have that. I think I quite like that, actually. And then I could do any background color I want. So we have the dark green. Oh, look, I can still see her. We have red fire zone. She's a little hard to see, but you can still see where the outline is. Bottom of shoes are kind of weird, but that generally is kind of weird. Just never use pure red. So we could use the dark green. We could use the light green. We could use grays. Look, still see her. We could use light grays. Look, still see her. We can use white. Look, she's still there. Perfection. Actually, that's the weird white that I don't know where it comes from, but look, you can still see her. So I think we're going to do the fake shadow method. And I hate it. I don't want to do this. But I don't think I have the size budget to really make the outlines in a way I like. Oh well. Okay. Let me save that. And give me a second. I will be right back. Alright, back. Helps if I turn that off. Okay. So, we have this as our base. Hello. I'm currently working on Beatrice and Beakghouls because I'm a terrible monster, and making the Ghosts and Goblins engine amuses me. So here's at my current noodling on how to do a kind of NES retro feel. It violates so much for Beatrice. For at least the standing frame. I'm going to need to jump into doing some of the others. The run cycle is going to suck. But I think I can just do the 2-frame of... It'll be silly, but it's a NES style, so unless I want to go Metroid and do a 3-sprite walk cycle, this is the best I get. Okay. We have this. I am going to... start trying to bring over sprite pieces for later. And what I settled on is I'm going to basically double the sprites and have a shadow one that's in the back, which is kind of dumb, but it's what I'm going with. Oops. Hey Sprite, please stop fighting me. I'm trying to just copy some basic stuff. Face. Okay. So, copy the head to its own little sheet. Detach. Put up, have a little space of 1 pixel so that I can do shadow stuff. And then I can have arm down here. Up. Like so. This also allows me to do the flip version, which I alluded to before as going to suck, but all it means is I do this. And this will be flipped when she looks to the left. And the rows... Whoops. Boop, boop. It's just this. Maybe I doll it up later, but... like so. And now for the fun stuff. Oh, I didn't fill in the shadow there. But that doesn't matter. All I need is 1 twin tail. Or twin drill. Because they are mirrored. So this can be 2 sprites. Or can I shrink this by 2 pixels? Nope. Be like that. And that will be the basis for it. I need to also get the hair, the long hair in the back. Now I'll fill that in. Oops. Probably don't need that one up there. Okay, and I should be able to in-engine piece this all together. I mean, I could try and do that right now, that could be a thing, but first, let's do the outline. Okay, so I have everything in here. And invert it. And now I make it black. Now I select every single one of these. Well, no, actually, that's not how the magic outline tool works. Go like this. You go outside. You select those directions. Boom. There's our shadow pieces, which we will flip behind everything, and then... I talked about it for a minute. She does not have standard twin drills. So, most drill hair, let's go with the standard Princess Blonde Yellow. Most twin drills are just like, you have a twin tail, and it comes off just as normal. And then it has like little sections where it goes like this at the end. And then, you know, you have your other color, let's just go with brown because sanity's sake, where it's like, you know, it loops in back there. And then you have this. And like, that's the most you get. But the top part is pretty much standard twin tail. If you got rid of all that, you could just have, you know, twin tail. Woohoo. Like, and then also you have the ones that just like, you know, do a tight bunches and then come off. And then you go like, oh yeah, this is actually twin drills because you see these little lines here? That's a twin drill. And then like you do some of this in the middle to like say that it isn't as like bunched and it's like twisting and all that going on. But yeah, there you go, twin drill. But BBs, for interesting reasons, is coming from the back. It is coming from the back as a ribbon and wrapping around itself. It's more... It's something I haven't really seen before. I don't know about her artist. But yeah, that's what makes it kind of hard to draw. I realize this because I drew it the normal way with going like, okay, it comes out from the front, this little bit here is in the back, and then I draw going off this, and then yada yada, but no, yeah. Yep. Okay. That is my, what the heck is up with this? And then she has, you know, what is it? Wavy hair for the rest of it. Which I will always remember, wavy hair is shorthand for sick patient. In Japanese. But that aside. And then you got your sidewalks here, and then you got this part, which I always forget on, but anyways. So back to here. So how do we want to take a step? I suppose at this point I can actually flatten these. Because I have them over here, but I should save. Save as BB sprite sheet. And I'll figure out stuff later. But I have it over here and I can just do what I need to do. So merge all these down to... Yeah, anyways. Poop. Don't need that one. Okay, so this is BB. BB Stepu. Huh? Did I not copy this? Oh, I new layered it. BB Stepu. Let's turn on this. Let's move this all the way over to about here. So Arthur, in his stepping, he puts that arm up. I have... Excuse me for 1 second. I am going to look up YouTube. Let's mute it so terrible things don't happen. Ness, ghosts and goblins. No commentary. So what I'm going to try and look for is how are we trying to do the walk cycle? Because the best walk cycles are at least 3. Most games in the NES era got away with 2 steps because, like, you don't have the room. Some games tried for more. I don't know which ones off the top of my head. Okay, it is definitely a 2-step. It's just cycling between the idle one and that, and I was correct, the jump is just the jump. And everything else that I think was part of the walk cycle is the weirdness that goes on with the Ghosts and Goblins sprite ordering system in order to avoid flicker, because Arthur is about 3 sprites. Or not, well, not to avoid flicker, to avoid sprites disappearing. Also, I may need to watch this later to cheat more and get all that thing. Goblins. So in this one, I am actually, I'm calling it Beatrice and Be Cools. So I'm going to have, like, a lot of retheming of the monsters as just Bicos. Oh, these are lame. This one I could probably work off more, but this zombie... They did not have this many sprites. So what they're doing is they're literally culling the bottom of it, and I think they could just, like, do that or do weird draw layer things. But they did not. And these are the same sprite, they just use a different palette between them. And that black back outline was not there. But, yeah, I don't think they'd be that big. And while these are just palette swaps, and this is the Red Devil, which is the, you know, greatest one, and he is actually at least 2 sprites. And he dances. Anyways. But, my general thought was, you know, they might actually be, like, sorry. Something like this, you know, like undead looking Bicos. That looks like a duck. Something like that. And they just, like, sort of limp along as the zombies. But otherwise, they're all Bico flavored, and I'll make some random fluff or whatnot. But anyways, back to the thing at hand, which is figure out the second sprite for the walk cycle. Which Arthur says I look like this. And Arthur is right in all things of taste, of all things original, but not of what I'm going to do. But okay, that's unique. So this boot going from here to here is like going into the background. Usually you don't do that. Usually you just do transformations, like you have boot here. Now you have boot up here to show movement. No worries. This is currently where I'm at. After much discussion of, oh god, what is BB's Twin Tails? But yes. Beatrice and Be Cools. I have it in thumbnail, but nobody looks at the thumbnail. And I'm just trying to make the second frame of this. And I think instead of having crossover, because I have, or this the back leg going back and the front leg coming in to show movement, which is, it's kind of weird, man. I'm not sure what to say. The arm coming up is pretty good, and this arm going backward, yeah, is pretty much, you know, the whole sort of transformation between these two. You know, you have the body there. You have your body here now. Like, you loop between those, and it looks like, you know, very powerful movements. I mean, BB's dainty, but BB is what she is. So, I think I move this back. And possibly bring this in. Having this, like, go down. Maybe have her dress lift a little bit to show movement is happening. And since girly, bring this in and bring this back. And then, like, I can have the twin tails bounce a little bit. And that could be intermediate frames that are not connected to this. So, back to our BB sheet. Boop, boop. This can all be done in this one frame. So, as we had, we have the knee. So we need to have that one pixel there. We go all the way back. Ah, no. That'd be terrible. We bring this all the way over. Possibly even just do it back here. Maybe. We'll see. Have this lift up a little bit. Move hands in. Move this back. And for extra good boy points, we bring this forward and maybe show a bit of armpit because we have a few of those people in BB's audience. Move it 2 pixels like that and change that to be like so. Put a red one up there. I think that works. Now for the twin tails, that's going to be a little bit more challenging. Also, I want to have a secondary one for... Actually, a sprite, if you do the W tool and you double click in a cell, it'll select the entire cell. Very useful. Let's just do this every 4 pixels. Actually, I can't go too far back. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. So about here, 1, about here, 1, excuse me, something like that, for the long hair in the back. Whoop. The old control, is it control or shift? I think it's shift, but I already messed it up. The old control, shift, oh no, that's orthographic. Is it alt? It's alt. And it'll snap to your grid. Also very useful. I go through all that, and then I do not copy and paste right. Oh, there we go. Paint it black. Control Shift O, and increase the shadow. There we go. Same for over here. Copy paste. Alt. Select. Control O. Oh no, Control Shift I to invert it. Paint it black. Select inside the cell. Outline. There we go. I think I said I needed to cut off the bottom of the feet there, and I will do so. So now we have that. Sorry. Excuse me 1 second. Just mildly dying. You know, the standard. Sorry about that, but I was especially stuffy this morning. So, okay, we have this going on. Now, how do we do this? Now, this might be the time where I need to have a forward and backward twin tail, because if they both, like, go in and contract, that'd be weird. I might be able to have them both go out. Let's test that. So, once again, maybe copy. But yeah, right about here. So if we have, like, say, let's not even bother doing math by hand. Every 3, let's say 3. Every 3, it goes out. So we have that go out. 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 And then we have this go out. And then we clean this up, so that we attempt... Oops, that's not going to clean it up. So that we attempt to maintain some sort of cohesion of these being strips of hair. So that might go. I don't think it's going to work for the other side, but I'm going to give it a test. Whoop. Okay, so that's all gone. Something like this. Yeah, I don't think that quite works. However, maybe, just maybe, we could cheat. Oh, yeah, it would help if I was, in here. So instead of having... No, you go back here. Boop, boop. Yeah, I think that has some legs. It has some flair, definitely. But basically, we keep the top halves of flipping around, and then we just flip... we have one single, like, spread out sprite, and then we just keep that the same between these two instead of mirroring them. And I think that might work. I'm going to mock up something. Now, I'm not going to have the black outline for all this, because that might take a little bit. I might do it in a second, but... Turn the grids back on. Turn it back to 8. These are going to be this big. That's normal BB. Let's move this down and merge it. Boop, boop. This is going to be our animation. So go back over here and copy this BB. Hey Sprite, I love you. I love how you work. Okay. No, I have to click in here or else it's going to copy the whole layer over and annoy me. Okay, put that in there. Clear this out. Go back. Oop, that's the wrong one. That's BB in pieces. That's not what we're doing today. So should be fine with it. Boop. Boop. New frame. And for this one, I'm going to need a repeat of the very first one. Really? Nothing copy... No, nothing can copyright. Okay, let's get all these. There. Okay, I'm in here. Yeah, copy the pixels. I don't get why it has so many weird context rules. So now we are going to transplant the twin tails that are doing this onto the normal one. And we'll just loop between them as we go. Why is this one over one? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, cut that out. Get that out. Cut that out. I know I'm probably messing up the hair in the back. But at the moment, it's a little hard to work with. Okay. And then we just copy that. And then we go boop. Boop. Put you in. There's like one stray white pixel down there. It loops around. Okay, let's put this at my standard speed I test with of 300. Turn off grid. Actually, let's put a little black background because Black Betty Bam Blam. Really? Okay. Can I don't know the thing for that. Okay, let's just do it by hand. Okay, let's hit the button. Okay, it definitely needs to be quicker for these. Okay, maybe the twin tails are a little... Oh, also it's stretching on the last one. That movement's a little extreme. But let's just see how it would look on this one. Yeah, I also have... What are you doing? A little lifeless. I might want to move the bottom half back a pixel or something. But the main problem I'm having actually is that it's just too much. Also, I'm screwing up on a bit of this. Oh, I'm on black layer. Okay, there we go. And I move this back. I don't think it's going to solve it. I think the twin tails going out that much is just too much movement. Kind of works, and I was going to have, like, you know, the back hair go a little bit out as well, but I think I need to tone it down. Little much. Good experiment. Didn't work out. So, once again, bop. Let's try it at like 6 and just give it a little bit of movement. We don't need you, Arthur. You're not invited to this party. Okay, let's turn this on to be 6. And I will do it the opposite way. Boop. So this is going to be very subtle. And that may or may not be better. I don't like that pixel. I also don't like that pixel. I mean, maybe I can make that one work. It's ugly. Well, it's an in-between frame. I don't have to think that hard. Okay. As long as the frames surrounding it are good, you can have a sort of bad frame. It can't be a terrible frame, but it can be sort of bad. Oh, wait, yeah. Okay, so... what am I doing? I delete the twin tails, like so. I create a layer below the twin tails so that I can duplicate this on top of it. Copy. Pasta. There we go. Whoops, hit wrong button. Okay, then I merge this down. And it gets the... I don't know why it gives it that name. Okay, let's copy this in and see if the results are better. It may also be that I'm just not going to get it right because too complex of a thing, and I should just shoot for good enough. Which honestly, what is it? Perfection is the enemy of done, and I'd rather have this done. I could spend weeks waffling about a few pixels, and by that I mean I'll do like 2 weeks and then I'll forget the project even existed. So I need to have some forward progress. Okay, so we have that. Sorry. Try not to do a full hack on this. Boop. And make sure that covered up like this. How do you look? Yeah, it doesn't work because it just... the flipping... yeah, it just doesn't work. It works when you look at it, but in motion it doesn't, which is a very rare sort of thing. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to have to split up the pixels on this. So we copy this over from here. We copy this over, and then it was every 6. Okay, it's still every 6. Nice. So we make a new layer. And we cut this. I said we cut this. But I should be on the right layer, you know? So now, this gets pulled back. And this gets pulled back. And I will fix this. And let's see if I can cheat on these a little bit. So, go away. Like that. Valiant attempt, but not valiant result. Okay, and then we just put this in. That. How does this look? Well, they're wiggling properly now. Though I think I need to move this over like one more. How does it look on this one? Yeah, it needs to be moved over one more. Shift, Alt, Roll. I can never get the unselect option to work right for me. I don't know why. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just going to copy this all manually. I really hate context things up. Nope, I shouldn't copy like that because now it's going to yell at me for that part. There, so I have to make sure I grab this without grabbing in there. I never know the correct context for any of it. Okay. So I think I need to have the bottom part lift up for this to work right. Or maybe I need to have it stretch out one. Because the normal one is like this. Yeah. So the normal curve in looks fine, but then it's like, oh, what's going on here? So I think that I need to stretch everything out one. And that will possibly, and maybe move like some chunk of this arcing up, but I think it might be too complex for the style I'm working with. Or I'm willing to do for it. Okay, so delete, paste. Why did you just delete through 2 layers? God, I hate A-Sprite sometimes. Okay, how does this look now? Now it looks like the twin tail's moving out, so kind of success. Maybe it's just too much movement and I should stick for like the bottoms or something. Yeah, I think it's too much movement overall. Good attempt, though. Okay, let's go back over here. So once again, unto the breach, my friends. Duplicate. I mean, is this good enough for what I needed? Is this good enough for tasks? That could be it. Let's go with that. Let's go with a thought on it. Because we kind of have a pixel of room, maybe. Literally, let's, what are you doing? There you go. Like, maybe if we do this. Very good point. I was thinking of, like, could I do anything with leaning forward, but moving up could be the solution to everything. Let's go back and see if that saves everything. What do I have over here? Wait, it shouldn't be on that frame. It should be on... Oh, wait. That's why probably things were off, is that I had those next to each other, which caused a lot of things. But I think I have more issues than just that. Oop. How does this look now? Yeah, that solved a lot of issues, and I might be able... Yeah, I think the twin tails actually kind of work now. There's enough movement going on from that single pixel up that you swallow it better. Okay, thank you very much, Unaf. Unaf. What am I saying? That gives a lot more believability to it. Probably not the right frame rate on it. Let's see what happens if it's at my 300. Definitely not. Well, depends how fast it's actually moving. How many milliseconds in a 60th of a second? 60 FPS milli... It's like 17. Here's calculators. No, I don't want calculators. I want the stupid... It's a number. And then you're going to ask me to put in like a million... Turn on a million things of JavaScript just to give me the milliseconds. For the love of God. It's a known number. Oh, I hate doing this. Okay, let's turn on all the JavaScript and enable all the cookies so that I can look for a single number that nobody's willing to tell me. There we go. 16 milliseconds per frame. This is going to look absolutely horrible, but this is going at full rate. Every frame is different. Vroom! No. So let's times it by 10 and say that... Well, the animation is going... I'll probably have to work in more engine, but... This is probably more to what it's going to be, because it'd be like every 10 frames I update the animation. Because every frame would be possibly too much. We'd see. I'd have to see, but... I think this has a look. I think this might be it. Ugh. So, let's go about updating the sprite sheet. First off, I can move these suckers down by 1 because I'm going to have to move this up by 1 by going like this. How do I have... Yeah, I have the 2. Copy this. Boop that. Room. Alt. Hold Alt. Yes. Oh, that's not what I want. No, mistakes were made. Control Shift I, invert everything. Okay, now I can do the O and do that. And then I cut off the bottom of the feet. I thought I moved that down by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I move? Oh, I moved the heads down by 1. Sorry. There we go. So, now we have... Oh, yeah, it kind of does. I mean, it's literally just a head. So, that makes sense. Let's move these over by 1. Because now we're going to have to do stuff to the twin tail. And by do stuff, I mean I'm going to just go in here and literally cut the sucker off. Because I do not want to... Oh. Okay. I have to line it up with the other one. So this might be a little interesting. Whoop. So this is 1 pixel over. room. And that's for the back. Okay, so we have that, and now we need the other side, which is its own unique sprite. I'm doing so many sins here for sprite work. You shouldn't be making as many as you want. You should be making as many as you should be making less than you need and then fitting in other stuff. But I will go quality for this because I believe it should be, and it will add more to it. And once again, I'm going for NES feel, not NES accuracy. And there we go. Why it's like this is so that I can flip it in engine, and I'll save on that, and yada yada. But that's good. I don't have the hair in back doing this, so let's see how it will look with that. So I'm going to delete this. And I'm going to add a layer for hair. So this is the second one. And I don't remember how this is... I don't know, actually, where this is supposed to line up, given that I cut it out, but... Oh, I mean, I could do this one, and I could figure out where it is from that. Okay, so do this. First off, delete this. Put this in here until it looks about what's going on in this. Oh god, what's going on? Oh yeah, A sprite being A sprite. Hey, you switched the layer. That means you want to destroy everything on that layer, right? Yeah, something like that. Oh my god, I really don't like the ability to just go like, okay, I want to select this, and oh, it didn't actually do it because I selected in there. How do you even get it to happen? It's a context thing where if you do a certain order of actions, you're selecting that entire layer, and you can ruin every layer by moving something. You can also do it backwards in time, which you'll never notice. And I don't know who greenlit that idea, because it's an awful idea. Okay, so that's normal. In fact, it's one more up. Yeah, it's like this. It's a little weird, but okay. So now, we select everything, we delete it. And we have it like that. Oh god, and you wanted to do that to me. Yep. Okay. So now this is more it put together. I'd want to say the hair should be longer, but her hair isn't that long. For the back. I mean, technically, the twin tails... No, the twin tails are about that long. They're a little shorter, actually. But, I think that works. Okay. It might be a little hell to put together inside my sprite engine, but that's for later me. Now, for some super optimization, does it look better if I cut off this pixel here? Or does it become more of a mess? I think it becomes more of a mess. Okay. I mean, BB's all about the thighs, right? Okay, I might actually save this out, because if I want to crash the stream early, but I think I'm going to do this for a few hours. So we have basic BB movement. We have the basic BB parts. Do I want to put this into engine? How painful is it going to be to put this into engine? Very. Alright, let's try putting this in engine. So, let's bring this down. Is this in the right thing? Oop, that's not what I want. Okay, we have it here. I don't care. Okay, so we have that. 1 second. Let me do a little bit of exporting and making sure everything. Okay. That's the wrong button. Oh, there's only pain. There's no gain in this. Okay, this is going to the right folder. Okay. First off, this comes up. Am I in the right folder for that? Nope. Let me CD up. Let me CD in this. Let me run main.exe to make sure that it pops up still. Yes, that still works. Oh yeah, I don't have, I should really bind jump to spacebar, but I haven't yet. 'Cause technically, yeah, I need up to go up ladders. So that is the current state of the engine. And let me resize this so I can see chat still. Boop, boop. What does this do? Can I get rid of it? Whatever. Okay. Yeah, I'm totally searching for stuff right now, dude. Okay. So first off, let me find where I... Oops, that's the wrong one. Have that. Go back up. Single space. Go forward a space. And I think I have this named as BB sheet. It would help if I actually go... Please. Thank you. Programming. Beatrice and Beagles. BB sprite sheet. And Windows decides to act weird because it can never just work. BB sprite sheet. Now then. This is going to be a very hacky way, but I'll be able to at least see something and make sure that I have that properly loaded. So... Okay. BB sprite texture. That will be the proper way to do it, because it is a texture and it is not just, you know, image data. Boop, boop. And we want the top part to be... So this will be 0, 0. This will be 1, 0. I think I still have this in... Nope, okay. You're not going to play that way. I will get the proper make file for this that I have been using in the past. Oop. Nope, I don't care about updating. Please, just let me do my stuff. Gotta have a million updates to make sure you don't actually do anything. You have to read a million terms and agreements instead of actually doing your work. My daily life. Okay. Oop. I think I'm a little wrong. Okay. Wrong direction. Now then, this is not a proper 32 or 16 by 32 character. So I'm going to need to offset the head by some amount. So she's going to be a little decapitated at the moment. But we'll live. Yeah, I need to put in some offsets. Okay. Int BB head offset X equals 0. Int BB head offset Y equals 0. So, let's go into here. This needs to be transposed. Work in progress has her shoulder right there. So, this is right here. Yeah, because that goes to the back. So it needs to go over one, sorry. 1, 2, 3. So in the engine, I need to transpose that over 3. Now then, I also have to go possibly down, because it's going to be 32 up. So first off, if I were to like, let's see, let's duplicate this. Now let's make a new layer. And in this new layer, okay, so we say 3 over. 1, 2, 3. And then from the base point, we will say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 up. Which in this case, as top left is negative -7. So now I can work from the base coordinate system of the bottom rendering and just use whatever I'm using for the bottom plus BB head offset Y plus BB head offset X. Now this is going to get funky when I change directions, but we'll get to that in a minute. So now we have this. Oh, that's interesting. Something is acting weird. Yeah, there shouldn't be this. I think we saw this the other week, too. Also, I need to spawn, like, 1 up. No, it's completely destroying the alpha. The alpha layer is being filled in as black. But I thought that was happening because I was doing like weird stuff to the texture color, but no. The alpha layers aren't being proper on this, and I'm not sure why. STL2 alpha transparency. Let me do a bit of Googling. Because I do this fine all the time, so I don't know what I'm messing up currently on this. Unless I am doing something in here. Ah, this is probably it. This is it. Do I... God, go away. I don't need all that stuff sitting at the top. So this is made for text stuff, which means that it does color modding. I'm just going to need to put this in here exactly. And it's absolutely destroying the texture. That's the issue. Don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care. Please just get me... I'll just scroll back down to the bottom. Okay, so we get rid of all the color stuff which was coming from my roguelike engine, as per usual. Because, you know, render the ASCII the right color. Okay, so we have that. Boop. That said, it shouldn't be doing like that, because I've had proper text go on screen. No? No? And once again, please go. Do I have something turned off? Oh, there it is. Fill rectangle. Into the void. There we go. Look. BB. Oh no. Very hum. Okay, let's start doing it. So, flipping from left to right, I'm going to probably have to do some fiddly stuff. That a bool? That's a bool. Okay. Int head offset equals X. The Y is going to be consistent. It's going to be this. If player character dot face left, we're going to have to do some stuff. Is this on top? This is on top. 16 works. All I need is the center line. So, if we have an offset of 1, when we flip it, it's going to have to be all the way over here. That's going to have to line up. But, that said, this is the corner. And the corner is still going to have to be the corner, or the top left corner, because all it's doing is it's flipping the sprite around. This is so simple as I just move it over. Can I? Let's just see. So I have a stupid idea. Because if I just invert it, what does that do? Run the magic code. Jump. Nope. Still way over there. Okay, let's go through it. So, let's say, given I need a sprite to be 2 off, sorry, I am thinking a little bit. Here is body. Body is like this. It isn't like this, but it'll be worthwhile for this thought experiment. Head's like this. Now, when sprite flips, it's like this, and we still need this to match up. And this is all getting flipped. This is generally why I try to keep things centered. Can I keep things centered on this? Don't know if I can. Oh, let's cheat a little bit. Yeah. Export you. Overwrite. Yep. Now if I'm doing this right, I don't actually need any BB head offset. And I'm going to save me a bunch of headache. That's usually how I do this. I just keep them X-aligned. Oh, that... Yeah? Oh, I've been screwing with Y, that's what... Yeah. Okay, 1 second. There we go. Okay, I have some jankiness still going on. I'll have to fix that up. She can float for a minute, though. Now then. The hair is going to suck, because the hair I'm going to have to recalculate where it's supposed to be. So if I want to do running sprites, or running changes on there, because player character, oh please, yeah, that helps me. Okay. I can go off of horizontal speed. No, I can't go off horizontal speed. But I can use horizontal speed, because as long as horizontal speed's a number, I can do this. If not player character dot h speed, so player character is not moving, I'll do jump stuff later. If player character is not moving, or Where is stuff? So there is no hold thing. Okay, let's look at overall time and do overall time. Mod 2. This is going to be clunky half the time, but I'll live. Oh. Will you be happy? You'll be happy, I hope. Otherwise, use sprite that is over 1. Yeah. So this should alternate every frame and should look awful. Because as I showed before, it alternating every frame at 60 frames per second is kind of crap. Yeah, look at that. So I'm going to scale it because what I had done before was say that every 10 frames it should flip over. Looks a little better. Oh. No, I need to have something else because her head didn't go up. So we take this. Int head bob equals 0. Head bob equals -1. And then we factor in head bob into this. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Still a little janky. So let's go every 16 frames. See how that feels. That looks faster. Okay, we'll do this the weird way. So mod 10, or mod 20 is less than 10. I'm probably mathing wrong because, you know, I'm on stream. Therefore, my intelligence has basically quartered. Speed, speed, boy. That is not what I want. I really am forgetting the way to properly stretch this. I've done it before. It's not that hard. But I'm just going to have to... Yeah, I think that's it. Well, no, that's just being forever stuck on... Okay, let's back to Math Hammer. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. So, trying to say every 10 seconds. So every 20 milliseconds. This is in milliseconds, isn't it? So every 20 milliseconds, we should change. So if I double this, this should be half speed. So every 40, less than 20. Nope, that's going faster. And that doesn't make sense to me. Because it's doubling the size of this. Well, I'm going to put some output on this to see what's going on. Because if I times this by 10, this just makes it... It should be if I times it by 10. This should be slower. Because now it's stretching 1 second or 1 millisecond over 10 seconds. Or 10 milliseconds. You know what I mean. But it's just making everything faster. I have a feeling that this is more to do with something weird going on afloat. I love all the random stuff, making sure I can't have a big screen to look at. I have to have junk I don't care about everywhere. Okay, I want to do some output numbers and see what I want to get out of this. So into overall time. Boop. Where the heck is this camera offset? Okay, camera offset. I don't care. Go away. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, compiled. So, it's jumping... Okay, the number is jumping. So I got a line right here. Like this is, the ending 2 is 03, 04, 21, 22, 39, 39. So this kind of makes sense in the context. I don't know why it's doubling up. That's a little weird to me. And I might have a bug in here. So that makes a sense because the heartbeat is has a delay in here, so it doesn't like just murder the CPU trying to render as fast as possible. That's this right here. Do I just need a frame counter? Let's just make a frame counter. It's bad, but it's not the physics, so it shouldn't matter. Int animation frame counter equals 0. We'll have this loop like 1 to whatever. So, plus plus. equals animation counter mod 128. That's a good number. So we get down here. So instead of using... Instead of using all this, or the overall thing, we can just start using the frame counter because that's going to be manageable and sane. So let's start at this and see how this looks. And I have to jump out of the ground on the first frame, but I'll figure it out later. Once again, too fast. So if I double this, this should have this speed, correct? Because if you do the other way, not so much. No, if I double it, it's always going to be 2. What am I thinking? Let's go with that again. I've done this in the past, but it's been so long since I've worked in... Okay. Let's work with big numbers so we can actually see big changes. So this should be really slow, correct? Correct? I should be working in powers of 2. Yep, very slow. So how does this look? Very fast, don't like it. So let's double it. We have to work in powers of 2 because I'm working in powers of 2 up there. Otherwise, there will be some instances where there'll be weird frames. Okay, I think we're at it. Like, maybe we're moving too fast for the animation, but... Not like the original Ghouls and Ghosts game had actually consistent animation frame rate. That was part of the thing I watched, and it's kind of hilarious. But it's enough to work with. Just out of curiosity, if I make this 32, does everything look better? A lot slower, that's for sure. You can actually see the animation and we don't have some of the weird stuff going. I think there's just something weird in my rendering engine, because I don't think it should be this odd to look at. Or maybe I need to work on the camera stuff so it's tighter to that, because the character basically, as far as you're concerned, blurs as they move. Actually, do I have this at NES screen size? Yes I do. Okay. Okay. Let's just for giggles get the twin tails on there and the hair in the back. And then maybe we can figure out shadow layer or something, but I just want to see. And these should be rendered. Sorry if I'm kind of going all over the place. These both, I think, can be just rendered behind her. So they need to go in first. And these were mostly set up for shadow reasons. So it's going to suck placing them in the right spot. This is really going to suck. Okay, I'll live. So these need to go here. So the left one will be flipped. So 2 sprites. Zero, 1, 2, 3. 3, 0, 3, 1. And let's just render it to the same spot right now so that I can visualize any weirdness and contemplate my choices in life. Okay. Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3. Oh. There we go. And then we would render this twice. Life has been life. Last week has been very interesting. It's Friday has been very interesting. Now I am just trying to get this to work, which is more sane than what I've been doing for the recent amount of time. So I need to increase this by 1 and move this down by 16. So that. Let's just say I love working on projects where nobody's allowed to explain anything. Okay, so we're kind of there. You know what? Let's move this all 16 over. I think I just have this something wrong in here. Yeah, okay. So it's facing the right way. By that, I mean that that's the left twin tail. If it's boring, you can find things to do. It's when it's exciting, you don't have that choice. So how do I want to figure this out? So, once again, go here. Oop. So we are like this. However, we are flipped. Now, how many pixels left do we need to move? Ah, yes, thank you. I love when it does weird stuff. So, let's say we wanted to look like this. One. No, that's not the right one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It just needs to be 8. 8 and 1 up. Okay. So, -8. Oh, that's funny. Okay, we don't need... No, we do need that. -8. And -1. Oh, that should be -17. Okay. There we go. Now it's going to do weird stuff when it flips, because of course it does. Okay. And also we would be able to bool animation change equals this. So we can use this down here after I put in the semicolon over here. They actually have their own engine now. I forgot what it was, but it exists for just doing side-scrollers. But it's made by the same people who do RPG Maker. It's just, I'm not one to really want to work in engines, because I tend to tick myself off of my own coding. I don't need more people's weird ideas of needing 7 different objects to put a ping on the screen to make me want to work on it less. I need more reasons to want to work on it. Okay, so we have that, and far one is just 1 over. Boop, boop. I guess I also need to have... Not really, it's just I don't like trying to fit square pegs into star holes. It's just... Some things don't make any sense whatsoever. With, and also, it's also mostly because they're making a generalized toolkit. So it has to cover all cases, which is why literally you need like 3 objects to have 2 pings swap every 2 seconds. Because, oh, if you're doing other things from there, you would need to have that do this and blah, 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 blah. And that just, it gets in the way and makes it a slog to do anything simple. But then they make a simple system and it does stuff that you would think like, can't I just do this? I literally There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to do this, but you just decided that it shouldn't be like that. Okay. That's working, but now we need to figure out why, how. Can I just move that 32 pixels to the right and it'll be fine? Int. It's just more of a, like, do I want to spend time rethinking everything for this very specific setup they have? Or do I just want to do it and get it done? Which is also where I chafe on doing actual work, which is like, somebody had a really good idea 7 years ago, and now we're all just working in it, but I'm working in it for the first time. It's like, why is this so complex, and why can't you tell me anything about it? It's simple. You do all these things that I know from doing this for 7 years. Why aren't you getting it? Oh, that's a gotcha. You shouldn't have done that because reasons. It's always reasons. The thing with code is everybody hates reading other people's code and trying to figure it out, because ultimately it doesn't make sense. It's all very much, I understand this because I wrote it. But I'm more in like, what's the simplest way to just get something done? Oh, that actually worked. Oh god, that actually worked. I did not expect that to work. Is it closer than it should be? I don't think so. I could probably just do this for the other one too. 1 second. This is so hacky. Okay. Now then. I did not want to select the whole layer. Oh, I hate it so much when it does that. I totally want to select the whole layer when I'm just trying to work on the thing I just selected. Like, that's the same gripe I have in this. It's like, why can I select through the timeline? Why can I select everything in the current frame when I just click to move over and I wanted to work in that frame? It's just, it's all gotchas and it just doesn't grok with me. Grok being old, weird Linux term for understanding something. I think grok is grok a command? I don't know. I haven't worked in it enough. Okay. So I need 1 pixel off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? No. Room. Yeah, I just need 1 pixel off that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it is 9. I never got the brush thing. I think it's more I don't work digital, so I never get the brush thing. I find it kind of just weird. Okay, so this is default. And this is +9. +9. And I shouldn't need to do anything else because Reasons. Oh, that's funny. Don't close that. Oh, +9. +9. I didn't do it on both sides. Okay. Oh, wait. That's also why, because I need to uninvert it. Oh, this sucks. I should make this a method or something. It's hacky. Once I do it once, I'll be fine. Wait, that's on top of BB. The head renders after everything. What's going on here? Yeah, this shouldn't be rendering like this. First off, let's see if I'm screwing something up by doing that. Please. Oh my god, quit jumping. Oh, but you didn't have the space there. Therefore, you wanted to go 3 lines down, right? No, I pushed down to move down 1. Interesting. Oh, it's because is the body being rendered above this? Yes, it's because the body's being rendered above this. Okay. That's why. Once again, please cover up everything I'm trying to look at. Oh, it annoys me so much. If player... If player H speed and not animation change. Yeah, that should be it. Head bob equals that. Now, now we move this to before head, and everything should be fine. Boop. Yeah, okay, now it's not going on behind there. It was tripping me up that the hair was going across the body when it shouldn't. And I still think that, and I think that, Okay, let's do +16. We said it's +9, but I'm feeling I'm canceling out things here and not thinking right. Oh. That's almost perfect. I think that is perfect, actually. Flipping gets weird. And I need to get the proper moving thing for it. Okay. I almost think it... Oh, please. Yeah, I love having that up all the time. It's so useful that it stays up when I just want to run the run thing, but your run thing being embedded in here doesn't seem to want to work for me. Because I didn't set a config right somewhere between the 7 documents that all say different things on how to set it. Config's the worst part about anything. Why don't do mods? Oh, it's simple. You do this. Oh, wait, no, this was an outdated mod before they made these 3 changes. Now you need to look through the forms over here to find the one line you need to put in front of this, the I and I in this one place, unless you have this version, and then just... I'm not learning how a random game works in order to do one thing that doesn't actually matter that much. Okay. So, for these ones, I want to use 5 instead of 1, or instead of 4. Okay, I think that's about it. Except for the, you know, the whole flip thing. Do. Can I just do minus 16? Where are you? There you are. Oh, that's not it. That's definitely not it. Ooh. Yeah. I think it needs to be minus for going left. If I was more math, I can actually just think this, but also I'd rather fumble through it. Okay, that's almost there. Now we got the bottom bit of the twin tail going way out there, but otherwise it's working. So why are you down here so off? Probably because of that. Yeah, probably because of that. Okay, so that was an interesting boost. That was happening because we turned backwards and we clipped it to the wall up there because I don't have any collision things besides at the feet. And at the front when you turn. So if you're facing backwards and you go backwards into a wall, you get flung out at excessive speed. Because flipping. Okay. So we could put the rose on there. Rose goes in front of the head. This should be relatively easy. In before a couple hours. Oh, that's not a... yeah, okay. So, back into here. Okay, copy rose. Paste rose. Move rose. Oh, this actually needs to be in front. It's the rare case that needs to be in front. Yep, thank you. I know I was selecting something wrong. Thank you very much. You could just unselect it and let me actually work. Okay, so... one... no? What? What the heck? Okay, let's select thing and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. So 8 over. Let's record that. Plus 8. And then 1, 2, 3. I think that is... nope, only 2. Yes. So minus 2. And also, I think I need to do something real quick. 'Cause I can cheat. Because instead of this being 1, it can be plus player character face left. And then we get the proper head directionality in here. Okay, this is going to mess up in a second, but iterative design. You got to keep going through it. You got to keep running everything back. It helps if you use the right sprite location. And that's 3-0. That's 3-0. 2-0. My bad. There we go. Now it's going to go all crap when I go this way, but I think I can use the trick with the twin tails to move it properly. By that I mean I just use twin tail offset. And I think it's minus because it's on the right side of the sprite. Alright then, need to find this. Okay, yeah. This is working better than expected. I can't say it's the greatest because movement's still a bit janky, but this is a lot better than expected. Whoops. It's still G&G, you know, jumping mechanics, so. Do. Oops. Am I not falling? Okay. Probably because it's wrapping around in the array to try and look at ground. Pretty good. Okay, let's get the long hair in the back on there. And I could almost call it good for the day, because that's a lot more than I expected. I expected maybe to put it down and then to do a few characters or enemy sprites, but here we are. Okay, clear this layer out. Find the back hair. Sounds gross. There we go. Elong. Oh. Ah, please. Hey, sprite. Okay. So this one's going to be tough, because this one's already hard to figure out where the heck it's supposed to be. So we put this behind. Once again. Oh my god, you had something selected and you want to move it. Oh, we got to error that out. We can't actually let you do anything. So... -1, -2. Yeah, I think it's just -2. Okay. That's one simple. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. I've lost my VS Code. Alright, so... this has to go on top of everything. Long hair. And it uses the same system as this, except it only uses one sprite. Good lord. This code, it gets... it's going places. I could feel the spaghetti. And what did I say? -2? Yeah, -2. And this is 0, 1, 2, because 0 based indexing. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 6, 0. This is 7, 0. And this is... and this is times... this one respects face left because I'm not double using a sprite. And this is times negative face left. And I believe that is the ticket to be able to get the proper piddly offset I need for the hair in the back to work right. We'll find out shortly. Can't really tell. You can tell when you turn left because there's more black over there, and then it kind of goes away. But it's there. Maybe I can improve upon it a little bit, but yeah, this is more than I thought I'd get working because of all the stupid math. The shadow stuff would be effectively just duplicating this, which is absolutely awful. But that said, if I make this a method and I pass in a Y offset for the sprites, I can pass in a shadow one of a whole draw BB method, which I can put up at the top, and then I can, yeah, and then I can just draw her normally afterwards on top. I mean, I wouldn't be able to see the black outline right now because literally, yeah. But, okay. This has almost been 3 hours. Is there anything I can do? Anything else I would want to do right now? Not that I can really think of. The next step would be doing something like, you know, the... oh yeah, down is also linked to the jump. It's crouching is a thing in this game, because most attacks would, you know, go at, like, head level, but you sometimes want them to go below, or you want to, you know, duck for an attack. So that would be a thing to do. Actually, let's look over the sheet. Very happy with the progress. I might do a little bit of work outside of it because otherwise this will die horribly if I'm just only doing this on stream. So we want the duck, which, you know, puts you into a 16 by 16. We want, oh yeah, the climb. And then the attack animation, which is literally just put your arm out and then you do the normal. You have arm out and then you have arm in, which... So it's using the jump legs, but then it has arm up. And then, like, you do that for an action, and then you have, like, the projectile spawn right in front of the character. And then go on. Oh, now let me take a look at the enemy sprite sheet. So, like, evil flying Beakos, simple. Or Beakools. Very simple. This one I need to think on. The actual zombies, I just, you know, have ones that look a little decrepit. I don't think I need them to be, like, 24 tall. These things are a little weird. They're, you know, just spitty piranha plants. So I don't know. I make a plant Beako, or I could just have it be an evil rose. That's fine. These are just weird. I'm not even sure if I'll have them. The giant ones, not quite sure. Do these actually vomit in the nest one? Don't think so. And then you have your floating ghosts, the ghost condoms as they were called, but I could just do more flying Beakos. Same with these. Skelly might be interesting. That's some interesting fire. Yeah, there isn't that many enemies. Oh yeah, they're different than, like, let me bring up, like, the sprite sheet for super ghouls and ghosts. Ah, no. Sprite Reese. So, one second. Enemies. So this is what it looks like on the SNES. So, you know, the NES is like, it's... Oh, wait, 1 second. We need our lime green background. There. Now we can see everything. Like, this is much higher quality, but it's the SNES versus NES. And it was the NES with a kind of questionable development team. Did they actually... No, these are just mirrored. I don't know why the guy's deciding to go through it. Besides, like, you know, you could be cheap at it. Yeah, it's a lot more detailed, but it's a console generation back in Z-Day, so... A lot more frames. That might be useful for later, but... Yeah, and like, good old dancing thing. Or, Red Demon. Red Devil. Was that what it was? It's the thing everybody remembers because it's the thing that kills everyone. There's an absurd amount more, like, you know, frames and sizes of sprites compared to the SNES one. Oh, that's not even all the sheets. No, that is... Oh, no, never mind. That is all the sheet. It's just hard to tell. I mean, like, let me just see if they actually have all of Arthur on here. Arthur is relatively the same. I think he might have, There are a few retro-style games, but they mostly go for NES. Like... There is a few that touch barely in the waters of like what big chunky SNES sprites are. Like the messenger I could think of is almost in there, but they don't have as much detail. They tend to keep the characters on the smaller side and not have the big sprites because it's, well, easier to animate. And remember before I was talking about walk cycle? You can clearly see that this is a two-step walk cycle, but they're having the body move a little slower. So you have this, then you put the arms out, and that means you can cheat and use the and reuse these. Like they have it recolored a bit, but these are the same sprites, and they recolor some of the armor to push this push this leg in the back. So they just did these two sprites. Then they did the top half of them to have like the arm shift. And then they went back and they made this front leg the back leg by changing the coloring on it. And made it a 4-frame sprite. But it's really just a 2-frame for the leg animation and a 2-frame for the top one. Real quick, real interesting way to do it. And if they did it really right, it's just a palette swap. I'm effectively kind of doing this with the Twin Tails to make it look like there's more frames than there are. And your brain will just interpolate that there's a lot more frames going on, unless you really watch. And once again, his attack animation is just 2 frames. Raise, throw, and then it returns to, you know, the standard. Though in the other one, he doesn't have the actual release animation. He just has, you know, thing up and then back to normal. And, you know, the death animation on the horse. And because the game had you be changed into stuff, if one character hit you, you have your baby form, your bee form. I don't remember what that one was. If it's like quasi-ghost or whatnot. I think it might just be little girl, but then a seal because weirdness. But yeah, the most memorable, you get hit, you get flung back, and then bones. So we have to be brutal. I really think this is just his winning animation. Also, there's a hole here. It's probably a black spot, but how he extracted it, he removed it later. Anyways, you said Master System was the one you played on? Let me look that up. Ghouls and Ghosts. And let's see... Master System. Got the Sega Genesis 32X. I don't see the Master System on this list. Wait, was it called just the Genesis? Okay, one second. G... Golden Axe. Ghouls and Ghosts. Oh, they don't have them all out of here. That sucks. But I'm pretty sure the Arthur sheet they have, even though it's laid out in a different format. Yeah, this is effectively the same. Except, oh, it looks... No. Yeah, the Genesis, you could shoot up in it. I remember that being a weird difference. And then once again, the duck. Oh, old man form. So I think something could like curse you to move slower and you became the old man. Thank you, guys here. But yeah, if I remember correctly, they're completely different games. Yeah, is there a shoot up on here? No, there isn't. I think they went the more traditional one. And then, like, the only thing I also, that they have on the site is the Mini Reaper, which isn't even on this one. Yeah, once again, they were two completely different games. Okay. That said, I've been doing this for about 3 hours, and I mean, this is pretty good. It could be a lot better, but it's pretty good. I need to adjust some time, some movement, and whatnot. Probably the camera, tighten it up a little more to the center. Because I think, you know, let's do that. Let's see how that looks with an actual sprite in there instead of the cube or the @ symbols. Oh God, where? Hey, sprite. There you go. Get behind there. Get you up. Camera move. Okay, we set this. Let's half everything. 12, 20. The Y can remain the same. I wanted to be a little more tighter to the character, and let's see if that improves how I feel about things. Yeah, I think it does. I think that's a lot better. You got a little bit of movement, but otherwise, you can actually see the character change now. Ah. Maybe I could have that in here too. You know, let's bring up the sheet. Well, I don't have a sheet. I'll make a sheet sooner or later because I put everything into an Excel sheet. But if it's 920, 1080. I almost wanted to just do this at half, but I'm thinking. Why can't I see anything? Oh, I didn't click it. 6 levels, they won't be as long as everything in there. I mean, really, 5 levels? We know how this goes. Could I possibly even have it be 4 levels? We know how this goes. So, 4 levels. Like, I need 4 levels. Two main trash mobs per stage. Boss per stage. So this is giving us just 8 enemies I need to make outright. 5 enemies I need to make for the game in total. And then 4 or 5 sprite sets for the stages. Let me just write it in here. 4 levels. 1 end level. 5 level tile sets, which basically is going to be ground, some sort of background. 5 background tile sets. 8 trash mobs. 5 bosses. And I want to say, do I want to do super armor? I think I'll just keep it in the NES era, so you have armor or no armor. 2 BB sets. 5 weapons. normal paint brush. Pencil. Ink pot. Holy water. I think there's a grenade thing, or like the axe, maybe. Roller. Some heavy attack. Key. We all know why I laugh. For the special last weapon. Okay, so like these are maybe 2 sprites in total, so let's just think for a second. Trash mobs are basically 2 actions, and you might have a 3rd thing for projectile, which might be 4 because they need to animate a little bit. So this is like 10 sprites. Trash mobs are like 32 sprites. Bosses I'm not even going to think about because I want them to be a little unique, so they're almost in BB complexity. So levels, you need to have your... Well, if I cheap and don't do corners, so I need to have 3 at the very least for edges of things. I need to have the ladder. So that's 4. Let's say I'm going to have at least 2 types of ground. So that's 8 sprites per tile set for basic level. So that's going to be 16, 32, 48 tile level. Oh. And then background things are going to be weird and magical on their own, so I'll have to think of that. That's not too much. This could be worse. It's going to be programming them and making the engine work. We also need to have the chest, which is its own thing. Right? Closed and open. Not too much. I might make the spreadsheet and then figure out what level themes I should have. Also, Red Devil. Red card. I can't spell. Which isn't too much, and then I can reuse like a generic fireball or something like that, but... Yeah, I'll spreadsheet this up so I can actually keep track and do stuff with it. But yeah. I don't know if I'm just going to keep doing this for a while, or if I'm going to... I am going to try to do at least some full live 2D rigging, but maybe I might stick with this for a few weeks. Try to do some of it in my off time, so it doesn't last a full year, because I only get 3 hours a week, which is, you know... totally going to finish this game anytime soon. But yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to say thank you for joining. I'm going to post a little bit of this up, but I don't think I'm going to tag it yet. So until next time, have a good time of day, and I will see you later. Was the mouth not working on this? Yeah, the mouth wasn't working. No worries. Till next time. Goodbye.